Game and Hoshi here. So, well, I wanted to try something new, so I wanted to try a tier list this time. And it's for character abilities if you didn't, see the title, of course. So we're gonna talk about, like, everyone's character abilities. And if you don't know what character abilities are, they're like if you know, like, the tree, the upgrade tree, if you upgrade the first one on the top, where it has all their, like, signature abilities. Everyone has their own, like, character abilities they first unlock, and those character abilities, affect, or you can use them, or it affects how the way you play your character. For every PvE and PvP, PvP also has it, but it's already unlocked for you if you didn't know what character abilities were. So I don't see a lot of people talking about character abilities, so I wanted to make a tier list of it. And of course we're gonna include everyone except Umbrella, since she didn't come out yet. And of course there's Skullgirls mobile. So if you're expecting Skullgirls second encore, I suck at that game. Anyways, so let's start, right? But first, I'll post some timestamps right now if you're not really interested in either PvE or, like, PvP. And if you guys don't know, PvE is, player versus, like, computer, player versus, like, you're fighting the computer, you're doing the prize fights, the daily events, the story modes, that kind of stuff. And then you got PvP, where it's only, like, one mode, where it's competitive and free-for-all. No one plays free-for-all, so I'm gonna just do it in a competitive mindset. And like always, this tier list is based off my gameplay of the mobile version. Of course, I would say yours differs from mine. So this is, if you have any opinions or any, like, I guess, objections to my tier list, that's totally fine. Just be civil and talk about it. Talk about why you think this one is better than the other one. And I don't mind. But throughout all my years of playing, which has been around since when I was, like, in high school, 11th grade, 12th grade or so. So it's right now, for me, it's like 3 years of playing Skullgirls Mobile. Even then, I still feel like I'm an intermediate player. I'm not I wouldn't say I'm the most advanced player in both the PvE and PvP aspect. I still lose, like, in my, like, 40 win streak. Rarely I get to, like, 50 win streaks on, like, prize fights. And then for PvP, I still get, like, tripped up, and I make tons of mistakes, beginner mistakes in PvP. So this is from an intermediate standpoint. But other than that, I really do enjoy this game, so I want to go over everyone's character abilities, and we'll start off with PvE, yeah. Right, so we're starting with PvE, and this is for offense only. If you're playing, so if you're, like, in the offense. Defense, I'm not even sure if I'm gonna do defense, because defense is kind of, like, who cares about defense. But, like, here's how the tier list goes. S rank, the S tier, is characters who have really good abilities, like, really good character abilities. Like, if you give this to anyone else, they would become really powerful if they also had that character ability. A tier is for characters who have the ability, like, it's really, really good, but I wouldn't say it's busted or overpowered. B tier is for those who kind of have a meh ability, like, it can be good in certain situations, but I wouldn't say that's the best. C tier is for those where C tier is, like, a very situational, like, you can have the ability, but it's like, I'm not sure if I would use it only, like, in certain times. And the D, of course, is, like, really bad abilities, character abilities, like, that just doesn't work. So looking at this list right now, it feels like it's going off of alphabet. So we're gonna start off with alphabet first. So we're gonna start off with Annie first. Annie's character ability is Star Power, and yeah, she's able to activate it. Gives her, like, an extra, it pauses the screen, she gets extra hits in, she gets to do more damage, and it's busted. Like, it's really busted. I don't know what else to say about it. If anyone plays this game, they already know how busted star power is. The fact that you can tap the screen 5 times, activate, and then tap the screen 5 times to do more damage, that's kind of stupid. It goes through your shield as if anyone's blocking, you can do really good chip damage. You could do really good combos. The stars are really annoying. They're like small projectiles coming out of Annie. And the star power can be charged during like even if she's not on the screen and if she's in the background, and it just completely makes her do like immense damage. And if anyone else had this, you could already tell that it's way too overpowered. So yeah, star power is stupid. Okay, we have Beowulf next. Beowulf, I also think it's busted. Hype mode, his ability is hype mode. He's able to get either he gets 3 grabs, or he does his final like air combo. He gets 1 hype mode each time. So every grab, special grab, like not the blockbuster grab, but special grab, can give him a 1 hype mode. And once he has all 3, he's able to make sure all of his grabs are unbreakable, and all of his moves like change. Like he's able to do like the Grenda killer at the very end of his combos. He's able to like put the opponent against the wall and spam like dash 2, and then like his moves change like his blockbusters. Like Jetta's Trip Hack, for example, has a final hit that like stuns them against the wall. But the reason why I think this is overpowered though, like I wouldn't say it's any level of overpowered, but the fact that Beowulf in PvE, you can actually just put 2 special command grabs, and also 1 hype mode every 30 seconds. I forgot about that too. So you can get hype mode like 6 times in 1 game, which is a lot. And the fact that lots of offensive Beowulfs have something like Snakebite, he's able to get evasion, and if he kills someone with hype mode, he gets barrier. And the fact that Cold Stones can be able to, since hype mode is able to make Beowulf like slam the opponent 2 times, that's pretty overpowered in my opinion. So I think Beowulf does land in the S tier, because if anyone else has this where they can like just throw and like, or just do their final air hit, or just wait every 30 seconds, everyone can have like hype mode. And I think that's kind of really strong. Also, like hype mode really overpowers Beowulf. The downside is that it's kind of short. For me, it feels like it's a bit short. But other than that, I think hype mode is really, really, really good in PvE. Okay, and then we have Big Band. I also think Can't Stop the Beat, that's Big Band's character ability, is S tier again. We'll eventually get to the A, B, C, D tiers, so don't worry. But for now, we're starting off pretty strong. So Big Band's character ability, Can't Stop the Beat. He just gets armor at his dash. Like all of the opponents or the CPUs, the computer players, would mostly just like G1 or dash themselves as a way to approach. You get a free like hit with Big Band. Like it's really, really good. Like everyone else, if they had that armor, they would be really good. And the fact that Big Band has that armor and is able to like nullify anyone who tries to like come after him, especially how stupid the computer players are, then yeah, there's no way Big Band can like stop, I guess. So like there's no explanation. These 3 I think so far is really good, like everyone. Now we get to A tier, which Cerebella will hold down for a second. Cerebella, yeah, her character ability is Balancing Act, and the special thing about this one is that she cannot be grabbed, because if they do grab her, they go into stagger, and which means they're kind of in the stun position in a sense. And you might be thinking, well, Gaiman, why isn't she in like S tier, right? Because everyone would be overpowered if no one can like grab them. That's true, but since this is PvE, and it seems like Big Bang has like a better version, because Big Bang can just like charge in and attack and then like fall back and then charge in. Cerebella has to come up in front of the opponent and wait for her grab. And the amount of times I play PvE, the opponent will either just like hit your block or would grab you. And also the fact that when Cerebella breaks free, she can do her combos and stuff like that, but like at the same time, I feel like Cerebella's, the more you go into PvE and prize fights, you don't really have the time for that, since some like prize fights defenses will be like rock hard, like solid, really hard, and they try to waste your time with the timer. Also the fact that the opponent's BB3 charges up pretty fast in PvE, you can't just go up to your opponent and shield block and have like that 50-50 chance of them like either grabbing you or hitting you. Like Cerebella's, I would say balancing act is really, really good, but I wouldn't say it's overpowered. Okay, so double, S tier again. Double is S tier, and the reason why is because she can change her elemental forms, and not much, and people don't read this, but her transmutation, whatever that thing is that if she's at an elemental advantage, she gets 10%, attack up, right? But if she's at an element disadvantage, she also gets 10% defense increase. I never knew about that, and now that I think about it, it's kind of really dumb. But like, if anyone could change their element and deal like 20% extra damage, but at the same time add with 10% extra more, so you're doing like 30% if you're in an elemental advantage. So that's pretty big if you think about it. Also the fact that many PvE doubles are like based around switching your elementals and your elements, and the fact like Jawbreaker, right? Every time she switches elemental, she gets a buff, and since she's centered around this transmutation, that's why I think she's an S tier. All right, next one, Eliza, where would I put? Oh yeah, another S tier right here. Whoops. So, oh my god, I promise you, there's one more character in S tier, alright? But like, Eliza is really, really, really good. Her warrior goddess is her character ability, and what happens is that she can act out of her segment, and segment is really overpowered in PvE. All you have to do is just like send it out and then hold the charge button, and then they will just be staggered, and you can just spam this. You can do a knockdown into a segment, hold it, stagger them again. The opponent won't really do anything. And the fact that she can keep doing that over and over again and keep letting the opponent continuously being staggered, not being able to do anything, is really good. Especially if you're using like a really strong Eliza, like Bloodbath or like Standout. And the fact that you also, not only that, if you upgrade Segment more, Segment also gets the debuffs, and not only that, the fact that she can act out of her Segment is really good, because she's intangible, right? Unless the opponent like uses a blockbuster or like a grab, there's no way for them to like let you be hit or be in a bad position. Segment is really good for like everything, but most importantly in PvE, is mostly good for like staggering the opponent a lot of the time. So the fact that Eliza can just do that the entire like match and win in the PvE mode, I think it's really broken. If the opponent acted out If the opponent like spammed blockbuster and while she was in second med mode, then maybe she would be in like B tier or C tier. But like since the opponent's not like acting out of second med, I think she's a good PvE. You know, she has a really good character ability. Yeah. All right, Philia. Sadly, you're our first C tier. Her ability flashback is very situational. She's able to avoid any projectile damage coming her way, but like really, it's not like that good. Like sure, you could like avoid Georges that the Peacock sends out, or you can like avoid like I don't know, like some of the projectiles like Parasol's gun, Double's gun, Pinwheel's like spikes or whatever. But it's so situational. It's like, and also the fact that the opponent, you like, if you ask yourself while being in PvE, have you ever used the like flashback her character, everyone would probably be like, oh, I forgot that character ability existed. Because like sometimes I just like dash back while playing PvE mode, and then I was like, oh wait, she has that, huh? And then like if the opponent like shoots something at me and then I just like go past it, I was like, oh wait, what happened? I was like, oh wait, yeah, I have that flashback. But it's like, it's not that useful. Like you don't find yourself wanting to use it. And also the fact that you're just running away and not pinning them against the wall. And Philia is pretty good at pinning the opponent against the wall. So I don't think, I think she deserves in C tier. Like sure, flashback can have its benefits, but at the same time it's like, why would I ever want to use this if I can just get up to their face and do lots of damage, right? So next one, Fukua. This might come in shock, but I put Fukua in C tier alongside Philia. And the problem with me for Fukua's ability, her ability Sanguine Shadows, it's not that good in offense. I don't think it's really good in offense. Like you can argue that she's able to regain, you can deal damage to them and then regain health, but it's like, why would you ever want to do that, to be honest? Especially if you're like, for example, Vaporwave, and if you're just staying there for the miasma, whatever you call it, and then just like doing heavy damage, but then you're like, oh shoot, I took like, I don't know, 99 or some, I don't know, like the opponent got me to like 1%, and I had a Valentine who like saved me because of her like ICU final stand or whatever. And then what's the point? Like I can just use miasma and just steal the health back and then just keep going offensive. Like I guess you could just switch her out and just like make her regain a little bit of health, but it's not like you're gonna use it in offensive mode. It's not, and the fact that the more further you go in prize fights, like all like characters will now like deal like, once they hit you, you're pretty much gonna be at 1%, or you're gonna be at 0, because they just like one hit will either lead into a blockbuster or a combo. And in PvE, it's just that it's basically don't get hit. And Fukua is just gonna regain like pity health back. So also, if you don't know, Fukua's thing is that she's always has like scratch damage, which means like she'll always have red health, so we'll regain back, but it's very slow in my opinion, and it's not good in offense. Okay, this will be our final S tier. Miss Fortune with her head games. This move is obnoxious, and it's so good in an offense mode because Miss Fortune could just set the head up and then trick the opponent, the computer, and it's just the computer doesn't have doesn't have any way to like stop it. If you know how to play really good Misfortune, then the computer has no way to deal any hits against Misfortune. And you can just like extend combos. You can just also do like a G5, and if the head is near you, it's gonna go into its like constant like hitbox state, and then you can pause, and then the opponent will drop their block for some reason, and then you can just like G5 again, catch them like that. If you can understand what I'm saying, like you could just cheese the computer completely just by using the head, either for like comboing or for like any other things. Yeah, I think the head games for character ability, I think it's really overpowered. This is not in order right now, but I'll have it in order once I finish. So after Misfortune, we have Pinwheel, and Pinwheel is Flight Risk. It's honestly like E tier. So Pinwheel's character ability, she flies in the air. Sounds pretty good until you notice all three of her actually four of the things she does is not very good. She can either just fall back down, which why would you do that? Approach forward, or like saw your way down, and then go for a grab, which a lot of people mostly do, go for an air grab when she's up in the air. But since the opponent has like a set like grab limit, I guess, like if you grab the computer like 2 times, they would start like releasing like the rest of your grabs. Unless that's what it feels like when you're playing PvE. Like if you're, man, I say like a lot, but like but if you grab your opponent in computer, if you grab the character or your opponent in PvE like twice, then they would start like grab releasing. And then Pinwheel, same thing. If you grab her 2 times with the air grab and then the normal grab, it doesn't matter because it'll still register as a grab, and the opponent will like easily free from it. Also, the fact that those 2 other options are really unsafe, kind of like you don't need this. Pinwheel is all about just like doing heavy damage, and none of those things really do heavy damage. So it's better off to just like shield and then let the opponent just do their dumb G5 and then counter it and just do heavy damage. Like you don't need this. It's unsafe. It's not rewarding, and it's not a good character ability, especially on PvE. Nobody in PvE who uses Pinwheel, I don't think anyone would ever use it. Okay, sharing a spot with Pinwheel is Peacock. Peacock's ability, the whole idea, I think it's stupid. Why would you ever want to like put yourself in that situation, of that 50-50 situation, where the opponent might block it, but the opponent might also get hit by it. And also the fact that it just goes into a knockdown is just not that useful. It's better off to just like spam projectiles with Peacock. Like there's no reason why you want to use this, especially on offense when the opponent can kill you with one combo as you're like going up the prize fight, or just like fighting like master mode, story mode. You just don't want to use the whole idea. I mean, it has its uses, but it's so niche, and it's like, I wouldn't even recommend it, because I mean you can dodge projectiles, sure, but the opponent can still block, and the fact that the opponent can do so much damage to you, it's not worth it. And you can just spam projectiles or just approach and grab and do her insane combos. So I don't think her ability, the whole idea, is not that useful at all. Okay, Parasol. Parasol will actually be taking B tier for the first time. I feel like her ability, the Tearful, I feel like it's very situational too. I think even though it does like even though it's useful on some characters like Primed, other times you just wouldn't want to use it, to be honest, because she already has some really good damage moves and combos. Like, you kind of forget, unless you're playing like primed and want that bleeding. I don't think her tier 4 is that useful on certain parasols. But like, if you're playing defensive if you're playing like I know a lot of parasol characters that do have tiers as their like main source of ability, but some of those abilities kind of suck. Make her like it sucks. And also the fact that she has to do the crouch charge to like explode, or you have to equip one of your move slots for like explosion for the tiers. It's pretty risky to do at times, but I feel like sometimes it could be really rewarding, but at the same time very it's a very meh kind of character ability. Robo Fortune, I would put her in the very low spot of B tier. Come on, there we go. Okay, so Robo Fortune's character ability is head drone hardware, and she's able to summon 3 heads, and it has 3 uses: to either fly forward, to launch missiles, and to set traps. The opponent can actually be smart about like how they approach. Sometimes they get hit by the head mine, but other times they would just shield it at the right time. And also the fact that you could actually place her in C tier, but since it does have offensive uses, if you know how to play like really good Robo Fortune and no head combos, then I think she's worthy of being B tier, but you're also risking yourself launching a head out, since it takes so much time for her to get like her head out and be able to use it. And in PvE, I think it's really risky to do this, because same thing with PvP, which we'll talk about, but like in PvE, very risky to like send out a head, and also the fact that the head doesn't do that much damage. And also, if you think about it, many of the Robo Fortune variants don't really have much uses for like head abilities. I think it can either be a B or C tier kind of character ability. But just to be nice, I'll put her in the low B. Alright, next we have Squiggly. Squiggly is actually one of the hardest characters for me to tell, since her character ability is all about like charging up the tail, and the fact that she has many uses for it, but like other characters won't have that use. And the fact that many variants, like if you think about it, like if you charge up, you heal. If you charge up the tail, you're able to do this. Like, what was the variant's name? I forgot. Man, I have this variant, but it's like bio something, I think. It was the purple one, and she was able to like slowly like steal. That's a really good a character ability. Her character ability, Worm's Tail, I don't know how to pronounce it, but you can charge it and use it for many uses. But I'm gonna put an A tier for now. You can argue that she can be an S tier, because Dragon, I think it was called Dragon Bite or Dragon Pull, whatever, really good, really solid. But then you have like the crouch, and I don't think that's really worth it. And you have, to be honest, the only reason you should charge up the tail is either to use Dragon Pull and Dragon Bite, I think. Like the dash 2 one isn't that good, and then the crouch one, it's just to keep the opponent away. And then finally, was there another one? Oh yeah, you have the charge one where she just like can break the shield, I guess, in PvP, but in PvE is like it's not that useful, I would say. Also puts them in like a very hard drag knockdown, so you can't even combo off of it. The charge ability, the charge attack when you just hold it. So yeah, I'm gonna put her in A tier for now. And then finally Valentine, because Umbrella hasn't come out yet. Valentine, a lot of people might say A or S, but for me it's a B. Siphon is a B because I'm gonna go off the argument, same argument again, that Valentine's Siphon, the fact that she can steal health is really good, but the fact that you're going offensive PvE is, if you think about it, isn't that useful, since a lot of characters, like, sure, you can survive longer, I guess. I guess you can survive longer because the opponent will do tons of chip damage to you, but it's the fact that once the opponent hits you, you're pretty much dead or like very close to dead. Especially if you're going, like I said, if you're in a very like, if you're in like 40 streak prize fight and continuing, all opponents, and when they hit you, you're considered dead or very close to death. If you have like final stand or something. And Valentine, and also the fact that Valentine plays a support role more than anything when you're doing offense. And then you have like Surgeon General, I guess, for like backup, or other characters, you know, Silent Kill. I forgot the yellow variant, the Last Hope, I think. Yeah, since you're having them as support, Killjoy, another one. You're mostly going to use them as support, and also since they have like ICU, so they heal you and then give you like final stand if you're about to die. Yeah, there's no Siphon is just there to heal back some chip damage, and that's really much it. And that's why I think it's a B tier. So yeah, let me rearrange this. So I would say, let's see, which is worse, Peacock or Painwheel? Both are equally bad. I think Peacock just should have the worst, because at least Painwheel can grab. Peacock is pretty... We'll have Philia here, and then have you like that. And we're gonna just have it like this, and then the S tier, I think Head Games is overpowered. Star Power should come second. Charge right here. Transmutation 4th. Eliza 5th, and then Hype Mode 6th. Yeah, so this is my character ability tier list for PvE offensive. Now we'll do a quick PvE defense. It's going to be a very quick one because like I don't really give a character abilities in defense mode is not going to really make a huge difference. And then we'll go into PvP. Alright, we're gonna do defense this time around. We're gonna do it off of like characters who came out first, from first to like latest, I guess. Philia's character ability, the flashback thing, the opponent doesn't, since the character abilities now, it's like for defense only, so the opponent is using it. They never use this ability, so it's trash. Like I said, I'll go by this fast. Cerebella Balancing Act, B tier. Just don't grab. That's really much it. Other than that, you can void it. Let's see. Peacock, whole idea, the opponent, if the opponent uses it, you could easily react to it and just like punish it. Parasol, the opponent never explodes the tears, so another trash one for defense. Misfortune, head games can actually mess some people up, but at the same time it's not that bad, to be honest. The opponent's not that good at using the head mode, so it's still still pretty let's see. Siphon is actually the only good defense character ability, since Valentine's really good in defense already. She can just get her like scratch damage back up, and it's really obnoxious. And then let's see, Painwheel, trash. The opponent never uses it, and if you see it, you can just like immediately punish. Double's transmutation can actually be a problem in defense, but at the same time, it's just, yeah, unless you're fighting like Evergreen or like some of the other, it's not that useful, but it can be very, very obnoxious at times. since the opponent will be blocking a good amount of times. Squiggly, I don't know. I think Squiggly is another, like, they charge it, but it's not like they're gonna do anything with it. So another like D tier. And then Big Band is actually pretty threatening, but like you need to know how to like make sure when to hit a Big Band. But other than that, if the opponent catches you with their own like armor, then yeah, you're not gonna have a really good time. Beowulf hype mode, another no, it's more of a C tier. Like the opponent can, because Beowulf with hype mode can actually be kind of scary for you at times, especially if they grab you once. They can do tons of damage, but like just avoid getting grabbed. That's pretty much it. Fukua Sanguine Shadows is actually kind of obnoxious in defense, but it's not too bad, I would say, unlike Valentine's, because Valentine just like quickly recharges since she can just like heal off of a hit. And if you can kill the other opponents fast enough, she wouldn't have time to heal a good amount. Surprisingly, her healing, her scratch damage is really slow. And then I don't know who's next. Eliza, I guess. Eliza can also trick people up, but it's really rare that the computer will bring out Sekhmet, and then you know how to counter Sekhmet. It's just grab or blockbuster, so it's not that bad. And then let's see, Annie's B tier. Actually, let's do Annie last. Robo Fortune, F D, because the opponent also rarely launches the head, and it's also not very they don't know how to use it, the computers. And then finally Annie at B, because star power is annoying. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll go into PvP now. Hello, welcome to the PvP section of this list. So we're gonna go over the characters' abilities in PvP mode, you know, player versus player, competitive mode. I'm looking at the competitive mode aspect, not the free-for-all, since nobody really plays on free-for-all, and a lot of people, and it's just best to play on competitive. So yeah, we're gonna go over competitive mode for their like character abilities. And let's begin. Again, I'm gonna go over the tier placements. S tiers for characters who has like really good abilities. Like you can swap them out with another ability and they would be really good. Like any character can use this ability and make it really good. A rank is really good, but at the same time, like you can kind of still, it's not like make it or break it kind of a character ability. It's just there, and it's just really good to have in general. B tier is kind of a meh. It's meh character ability overall. C tier is situational. The character ability is situational, especially during a match. And then D's like not really useful. Like you didn't even know that, you don't even care about this character's ability, but they still have pretty good tools, I guess. So we're gonna go like I said, we're gonna go alphabetical order, but you know, reversed. So Valentine's up first, and I think Valentine is at A tier. Siphon in PvP mode is obnoxious to deal with. It's it's infuriating sometimes, because you have, you know, Valentine's at like 10%. Oh look, she's at 40 or 30% now. Oh great. So it's kind of annoying to deal with, but I would say it's not that bad, since in PvP mode just one combo would either do 50% and above, but it's still very obnoxious because, you know, sometimes you have Valentine at chip damage, like she can die off of a chip hit, but at the same time she just heals it right back during a match, which makes it obnoxious to deal with. And also, sometimes PvP mode you sometimes like spam. Some people just spam like Sagan Beam, I guess, or like Sekhmet, or like the Fukua's Ball, whatever. Blockbusters are like spammed a lot, especially from those who don't know how to play PvP, and just seeing Valentine using like counter venoms to like heal her like red health back is kind of like doing what the heck? What's like it's like making you think what the heck? What, like I barely did any damage to her, and she just healed it back up. But the fact that some character she's a light character in PvP and some characters can TOD her pretty easily, it's just not that bad, to be honest. Siphon, like it can be good on other characters, sure, but it's like not, I wouldn't complain too hard about it. There's like other characters I can complain. So next we have Squiggly. Squiggly, again, I would have her in A tier. Whoops. Because, is it good on other characters? I don't know. It's pretty good on her. But if you think about it, when she charges up her snake, her rim's tail, whatever you call it, it only has two uses: Dragon Bite and Dragon Pull. Sometimes, rarely you'll do the crouch attack, but you'll never really use the charge attack too much unless you're trying to break the shield and break the block, I guess. And then you have the, what was it? You have the D2, which no one really uses unless you want to look flashy for like comboing or something like that. Dragon Bite, I think it was Dragon Bite, Dragon Pull, the one where she like when the, man, what was his name? A Leviathan starts like going like nom-nomming, that move, whatever, where she tries to pull him back. I think it was Dragon Pull. But that move, because of that makes her really good. But at the same time, she needs to, you know, of course, charge her tail. And if she's cornered, she can't charge it, because then, you know, she's completely vulnerable. So I think it's worth putting in A tier, just because of Dragon Pull. But other than that, yeah, that's really much it. So next we have Rubbo Fortune, the head. Very easily, I would put her in C tier, but just to be a bit nice, I would put in B tier. But again, at the lowest end of B tier. It's slow. Like her pulling out her head, whatever. That thing is really slow. You can just, if you're like Philly, you can just approach and just punish her really easily for trying to do stuff like that. And I mean, it has some uses. You could. All three of them can actually be pretty useful at times. Like, if you set the mine down, you can, unless the opponent is quick enough to stop you, the mine is really good for doing like G4 and then putting down the mine, or like G4 you can launch ahead, and then the one where she shoots missiles, you can put that inside a combo. I've seen it before. And it's just very, I don't know, I think her ability does deserve in C tier, because it's very situational. Like you can be cool, you can have you can do cool flashy head combos with it, but like, it's so slow. My goodness, like I could just easily get up to her and just like punish her so easily for doing that kind of nonsense. Even if she does get away with the head, she's under pressure, because most likely once you pull up the head, the opponent will be right in your you'll be right in your block. You'll be holding block because the opponent's just like running after you. So again, if you want, you can say she's C tier, but for me, for now, I'll just say B tier, but at the very low end of B tier. Peacock, you are in C tier. The whole idea, character ability she has, It's useful at times. Like you can dodge gravity slingshot. I think that was the name of it, and you can dodge like projectiles, and it tricks the opponent good several amount of times. It can help her trick the opponents many times and avoid blockbusters, which a lot of characters cannot do. But it's reactable. It's like you can see it come. If you are impatient like me, like I can still get tricked by it, her coming out and everything like that. But it's just like, even though you're putting yourself at a huge risk by using that character ability, because either you're gonna just stay down there or you're just gonna come out and punch, but either way you're gonna get punished. If opponent knows the timing of when she comes out and her like time frame of when she can punch, then yeah, you can be easily exploitable and just like completely get destroyed. It's really laggy. It avoids blockbusters, but so that's why it's pretty situational, and I think it's like C tier. And then we have Painwheel. Painwheel is another C tier. Yep, C tier. So the thing about Painwheel is that her ability, she can fly, I guess. She can avoid like George's, I guess. It's like, but why? Like the only use you'll get out of this one is when she flies and tries to grab you, because the grab release frame is like you have to do it earlier than everyone else is like when they grab you, so it's like kind of frustrating to deal with. At the same time, it's just, you can see it coming. You can exploit it again. It's not very useful. She can back away, I guess, as a mix-up. Other than that, like, why would you ever fly in the air? Again, Painwheel does it. Like, Painwheel players mains, which I don't know if they exist or not, because she's such an awful character in PvP. But PvP Painwheels, they do that for like a mix-up. But other than that, I don't see them doing it at all. It's very rare. So other than that, we get into Parasol. Parasol's such a good character in PvP that she doesn't even need the tears. When I come across a good Parasol, they don't really use the tears. Like, why would you ever use tears? Her tearful ability, when she's just that good in PvP nonetheless. I mean, yeah, they nerf her crouch or whatever, so she's not safe when she does that anymore, but like, the tears are so useless though. Like, every time someone tries to utilize the tears, it just doesn't work out when I see a PvP Parasol. Well, that's why it's just good to have just, you know, the simple canopy bounce, burst, the silence scope, the shoot, the gun, whatever you call it, and the moto brigade. Maybe have like some other moves as a replacement, but no one uses like detonation. I know of one person who used it really well back a year ago, but it's like, pulling that off seems so, you know, it just doesn't work. Like, since Parasol's already good enough PvP, she just doesn't need it. And also the fact, if you just try to crouch and break your shield, the tears don't does like it's some kind of extra hit, so they can like block against. It's just, they won't go into stagger. That's what I'm saying, and it's just a nuisance. Maybe tears should be useful by like exploding in a set timer, but like giving that to Parasol sounds a bit more overpowered. So I don't want to make Parasol more overpowered than she are. Okay, she's not that overpowered anymore, but like, okay, I'll stop talking. So Misfortune S, like, what's there to say about this? What's to say? Yeah, there's nothing to say about the head games. Her character ability is dumb, so dumb. She can apply free pressure from far away. Sometimes head is a bit buggy, and you just like if you hit it, if you try to hit the head, you're not gonna deal that much damage, and then misfortune will come after you. The body, of course, and then the head is also used for combos, breaking your block. Let's see. Like I said, pressure. What else does the head do? Head can just like stop certain blockbusters. I've seen it happen. Head can like mix you up. It's just everything. Head does everything you need to do. If Misfortune never had head, she would not be S tier. She would not be the best character in PvP so far. Just because she has head, just makes her completely obnoxious to deal with and really overpowered. Head does everything she wants, and the only character who can kind of counter that is Eliza, since the fact that she has her segment mode has armor, so she can't get pressured that easily. But at the same time, she still does struggle a bit, and Misfortune, and the only way to stop a Misfortune head is mostly just Misfortune. And what's dumb is that sometimes nullifies special abilities and projectiles too. Like a Peacock, if you have the head behind the Peacock, she can't use Boxcar George, because Boxcar George will hit the head, not the body. That's how dumb it is. Okay, Fukua. In PvP, I say she's A tier, but like at the lowest A tier. Like, yeah, you can send her out. She's kind of in the same thing as Valentine. That, like, yeah, she can heal, but she's still like the lighter character, one of the lighter characters, so she gets like comboed easily. And also, like, she can still get TOD'd, so it's like, yeah, just apply the same thing for Valentine to like Fukua. Like, sure, she can heal some chip damage, but like, I mean, HP does count but in a game where like other opponents can just like end you in two combos, yeah, I don't think it's too useful. You can survive some like blockbusters or special moves, just random ones, but like, it's good, it's really good, but I wouldn't say it's overpowered. Okay, Philia. Flashback again, C tier, really situational. Rarely Philias will just like dash in and then dash back, and then try to like dash in block, and then like try to sometimes use the, what was that move called? The one that the spikes that come out of the ground. Yeah, whatever that move is called. Immediately forgot the move. Phillies will use that move, and then they'll just run back and run forward. It's just like sometimes they forget flashback exists and that they can dodge projectiles. But like, it doesn't work sometimes, the flashback, and it's not that useful again. Just like in PvE, so it's just not worth using. So yeah, that's flashback's honestly not that good in PvP. Eliza. Oops. Not yet double. Eliza, S tier, and yeah, segment being able to be intangible, being able to just like stun the opponent, and then she can continue her combo. The fact that she can act out of it and be able to stagger and like trick the opponent and be able to do really cool segment combos. Like, you can do segment and then go back into Eliza, hit them a few times, segment into Eliza. Like, I'm not good at Eliza combos, but I've seen it. And the fact that she can act out and do combos and be able to like hit opponents and apply like, and be able to go back in really quickly at times, I think it's really good segment. But I would say it's the lowest end of S tier. Okay, double. Double is D tier. Because why the heck would anyone use transmutation? It's honestly the worst character ability in PvP. Like, unless you're fighting another double, and the chance of that, and you trying to block, both of you trying to block to have an elemental advantage is not gonna work. I've never seen anyone try to get into elemental advantage in PvP. I tried it before actually, against a friend. It was just like, why would you ever keep transmutating into different elements since it doesn't matter in PvP? I kind of wish I actually kind of do wish they added some kind of mechanic where every time she changes something, like she applies like small buffs or debuffs in PvP. Maybe that'll be a bit too overpowered. But right now, doubles transmutation, like, it's not useful. It only works on other doubles, and the fact that you guys will just like keep blocking, trying to get the elemental advantage or disadvantage is not gonna happen in PvP. Honestly, really bad. Cerebella, S tier. The fact that you cannot get grabbed, since the only way to like counter against a block is to either break it or grab it, and since an opponent can not grab you, it's really dangerous. And also the fact that they go into stagger, that's really dangerous. Cerebell can do immense amount of, like, huge amounts of damage, and she has combos. So yeah, anyone who has the ability to not be able to grab the opponent anymore would be seriously overpowered, because then now that they're blocking, you have to respect it, and most of the time, unless you have like a shield break option, like breaking the block, unless you're like Annie, Peacock, or Fortune, you have to make sure not to grab, or else you're gonna get staggered and you're just gonna die in PvP. Again, a lot of new players in PvP, competitive PvP, don't respect Cerebella's ability, and they get destroyed just because of that. Don't ever grab Cerebella. I've made a video about this, just don't ever grab Cerebella. Like, it's really bad, not a good idea in PvP. Especially if the Cerebella is really good, just don't grab her at all. She's slow anyway, so just, Anyways, Big Band, you're an S tier too. So Big Band's ability, he gets armor, and if he didn't have that, then he would be really easy to intercept. Basically, in PvP, competitive PvP, intercepting is when actually, it's another phrase in PvE too, so what am I saying? So, intercepting, if the opponent dashes at you, you can hit them back with a G1. Since Big Band's like dash is really reactable, in my opinion, it's one of the more reactable ones. Because at least when Cerebella approaches, she just like flings herself forward. Big Band just goes like at a snail's pace almost. Snail's pace when he's like dashing. The fact that he gets armor from his dash is absurd. If he didn't have that, he would be really bad as a character. The character ability, his what was it? Can't Stop the Beat. Yeah, that thing is a really obnoxious to deal with. Sometimes, like, it makes him get a free hit. Like, he gets a free combo, and Big Band's supposed to be that character type where he's supposed to be tanky, but at the same time, like, he doesn't do that much damage. They tried to make him not do that much damage, but no, he still can do insane amounts of damage in PvP. So yeah, you just have to be very careful with that. The only way you have to counter his armor is either using a blockbuster, a switch, I think, a tag-in, and or like grab interceptions, which are pretty tough at times. And this is scary because the Big Band, he can immediately dash after like blocking. And like I said, unless you're like Squiggly or like other characters, especially if you're like someone slow like Painwheel, Philia, and all the other characters, you're not gonna have a good time in PvP. A lot of characters, I can tell a lot of like new players in competitive PvP really hate Big Band just because of his like armor. So that's the best way to deal with his armor, but it's like at the same time, if everyone else had armor like him, they would be insanely annoying to deal with. So next, Beowulf, his hype mode, B tier this time around. Beowulf's hype mode is pretty good in PvP. It allows him to do TODs, It allows him to make his grabs be unbreakable, so Cerebellix cannot break it. It allows most of his blockbusters to do more damage, and he gets the funny penguin out. That's always a bonus in PvP, just to flex. And then, other than that, yeah, he just does tons of cool stuff with hype mode. But the main issue with PvP hype mode for Beowulf is that it doesn't last long. And 2, it needs to the TOD where he just keeps D2ing, dashing 2ing, works on mostly on light characters. And the fact that Beowulf hype mode you're only gonna get once per game probably. There's no way maybe 2 hype modes, but you only get 1. Since Beowulf is such an exploitable character in PvP, it's just really hard to utilize it to its fullest. I still think hype mode is still really good, but the fact that you're not gonna get as fast as you can in while in PvE you can get hype mode 6 times in one match. It's possible. It's you can get even more, but PvP you're probably only getting 1 or 2 because opponents can break your grabs easily. Beowulf has a hard time trying to do a normal combo, and also the fact that you have to wait 30 seconds every time, so that's half a match to get 3 hype modes. 1, 2, 3. Taunting is really bad, especially for Beowulf. So yeah, there's no hype mode really good, but the fact that you get really slow. If he had hype mode all the time, he would be a way better character. But right now, it's hard. Beowulf is already a pretty bad character in PvP, and hype mode makes him at least a decent character. And also the fact that when you activate hype mode, his crouch attack makes him jump forward. I don't know why they do that, but it's obnoxious. I don't know. It's really stupid. So final character, Annie. Star power, right? So I really hate her character ability. At this point, I hate it more than Misfortune. Star power is stupid in PvP mode. I hate that character ability so much. I can make a whole video about how much I hate Annie as a character in competitive PvP. And the amount of people that play her and the amount of times I've met PvP Annies, I hate playing against star power. To me, it feels like she's the only one with the rage factor. In other fighting games, you can have an X factor or a rage factor to make a comeback. She's the only one who has that. And that's so stupid. I don't understand why they gave her something as busted as that. It's like a rage mode, but it will always come back to haunt you. Her star power. Okay, this is just a rant mostly, and this is a rant, but it also explains why it's S tier. The fact that star power can charge when the other characters are out is stupid. The fact that star power can just do TODs on its own, you just need 1 blockbuster and probably 1 special, which will probably be ready, is stupid. The most stupidest thing about it is the chip damage, and the other most stupid thing about it is that it charges blockbusters, the stars that come out of it. What the heck is that? I'm not kidding, man. Oh my god, when she activates her star power, and when she starts hitting you, and after she used her stupid gravity slingshot or whatever, and if she uses her star power, she can get it really fast again. The stars help her get her blockbusters charged up even faster. I don't understand why they gave her that, and I don't understand why the whole screen stops when she uses it. The amount of shield damage, block damage it does to you. I'm pretty sure an Annie can just do one G1. And then your shield will break if she has a full star power meter. That is so obnoxious to deal with. I cannot stand Annie's star power. I cannot stand Annie as a character in general. I think she's definitely the character I hate the most though. If you don't know me, but like star power in PvP, so stupid. Charge applies pressure, gives her a free projectile, be tons of good chip damage, charges blockbusters faster, breaks shields, breaks blocks. It's basically a rage factor. Can do some of the most brain dead TODs of all time. And it's really good. I feel like it also applies good enough pressure to just corner carry the opponent. And the fact that it changes, it's like hype mode but on steroids, because it changes all of her abilities too. In the most stupidest ways. All her special abilities. Like a normal uppercut, the star whatever uppercut, it's okay, it does good amounts of damage. But the fact that her star power version, where she can follow up with the uppercut and she just flies at you and just continues to her combos, is so stupid. They gave too much for Annie, I think. It's always my dream for this game to nerf Annie's star power. Anyways, I hate Annie. So I'm gonna rearrange this. Double has the worst. Parasol. Probably like this. Let's see. We'll have it like this. And then for A tier, this is fine. And then S tier, I still think Head is stronger, but I still hate star power. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, this has been my tier list for PvE, PvP, and PvE defense, offense, whatever. And if you liked this different style video, I can do more. Right now, this was my character abilities, and so far, looking at the time, oh my god, I've been ranting and just like placing these tiers and destroying my throat because I have all this like free time. And so yeah, character ability, I can do like whatever. For PvE, I can do more signature abilities of some characters. I can do like an Annie, Misfortune Double, Big Band, Beowulf, Liza, whoever PvE tier list. And then for PvP, I guess I can do move tier list. PvE, that works too, or I can just do like a skin tier. I can do tons of other tier lists just by thinking about it, but like for now, I hope you like, subscribe, and enjoy this video. And I'll see you next time, boys.